Welcome to Three Things at Three.
I know, I'm excited to be here.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to have you. So fun. Hey, I'm loving those glasses.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
I wanted red.
Yes.
We got them.
Yeah.
Because I wanted something to stand out. Why? Draw attention to my face. That's a good idea.
Why not? I don't know. It's fine.
I think attention.
They look really good on her for sure. Hi, Sherry from Bellingham, Washington, and Melody's from Ohio. Hello, Flora. Nice to see you. And Cindy, good to see you. I know all of our friends are still back with us, and it's just great to see everyone. Hi, Barb. She says, hello, Kris and Melissa. So happy to have you here. We have a really fun show planned today, don't we?
I actually don't know what you've been doing, but this is a fun one for me to be on. So I'm excited.
This is going to be a lot of fun. You're watching Three Things at Three, where theme number 1 is something to smile about. Theme number 2 is something to learn. And theme number 3 is, did you hear
something to discover?
Something to discover. Yeah. So let's go. All right, here we go, Melissa. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm excited. I don't think I've ever done this with you before.
I think it's the first time.
I think it is.
There's always a first time for everything, right?
Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah, I love it. And it's great to have you. It's also great to have someone else in the house. And Heidi reminded us on the comment, she said, Terrellee too. I was like, Terrellee's here. It's like, and Toto too.
The party can begin now.
Exactly. It's Terrellee is in the house. Terrellee's in the house.
Oh, man.
Fun to see you too.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Someone was saying that we are a little too formal. So I'm wondering if we should kick off our shoes and I don't know. Should we lay back and just put our legs up? Or something? I don't know. Not be so formal anymore. No, we're just here with girlfriends.
That's right. That's right.
And I'm so excited. Today's going to be a really fun show.
It is.
We have some really cool things planned.
I'm really excited.
Right?
Yeah.
But before we do, we need to have something to smile about.
Oh, yes.
So shall we do this?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do this. So Carol first sent me this. Take a look at this picture here.
That is beautiful.
What do you guys think of that?
It's gorgeous.
Is that a fence?
It is. It's a fence where somebody painted barn stars.
Oh,
and
beautiful.
There we go.
Wow.
Yeah. So very nice. Thanks, Carol, for sending that in.
Where is that?
I'm not, I'm not sure where it's at, but it's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
So, okay, what else do we have? Let's see. And then Kathy, our friend Kathy, oh my gosh, I busted up laughing on this one.
Oh, yes.
Can you?
I showed this to my son and he's like, oh, no way.
No way.
No
yeah.
way.
One day, son,
I don't
this will
want
all
that.
be yours. Oh, yes.
All his dreams come true.
Yeah. Just what he wants, right? I wonder how many of you can relate to that one.
Oh, yes.
Uh-huh. Your son doesn't want it, Terrellee?
No.
No,
not at all.
So you got to use it all.
Got to get rid of it.
You
He
know.
wants finished quilts, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He definitely doesn't want my fabric stash.
Okay. Well, I'm sure there's a lot who would, for sure. Yeah. They don't know how good they have it, right?
I
It's
know.
true. It is true.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a look. This next one. This one cracked me up. I don't know if you guys are picking up on this immediately, but this is what happens when you hang out with Kim and Kris for too long. Good old Share Bear. Sherry, on the first day of 3 at 3 last week, or second day, she was here with Kim and I, and all of a sudden she comes strutting out with a dark wig. And mind you, she had on a mustard sweater. I mean, does that girl know us or what?
She knows you. She knows you for sure.
So again, if you want to go dark, just, it's let's see, L'Oreal number 517. There you go. All right. Too funny. I love that. And Connie said that was her sewing room her daughter will have to deal with.
Yep. That's awesome.
And Gail didn't even recognize Sherry. Yeah, I hardly did either.
I didn't.
So I know.
I did not know that was Sherry on the picture.
That was
Did not know
Sherry.
that. That's funny.
I said, you look good as a brunette, my friend.
Yeah, she does.
All right. So here's a question for both of you and to all of you at home. Okay. This was posted around Mother's Day, and I thought it was so cute. The question is, if your most used mom phrase had to go on your quilt, what would it say? What would it say? Your most used mom phrase. I've got one, but I'll wait to hear. I want to hear what your guys' are. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
And I want to hear from all of you too. Oh, Heidi says, I told you. I told you. Yes.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay, what about you?
Mine
Terrellee?
was, what on earth happened here?
Are you still saying
I
that?
don't know.
No, because I'm an empty nester.
Aren't you saying that to your husband too?
No, because nothing changed.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Most used mom phrase. Okay. So what on earth that happened here? I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think I've
what's
given
yours?
up. I don't even use that anymore. I'm all, looks like my children have been here.
That's right.
It's just, this is what
Mhm.
I always say. I love your face. Just
Aw.
like as they're leaving. I love your face.
Stop it. I love that. I love your face. I want to
Right? I know,
squish
you
it.
just kiss them.
Oh my
I
goodness.
know.
That's
The older ones
cute.
are like, go away.
No,
Okay.
it's like,
But it's
I love seeing the back if you leave.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. See you later. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's see. Flora says, drive carefully. That's a good one. Lulu, what the heck?
yes.
Wendy it is what it is. It is
Yeah.
what it is, folks, right?
That's how we are. Yep.
Were you raised in a
let's
barn?
see. Were you raised? I love you.
I don't want the
Here's
answer
some
back.
Chocolate. Ooh, hey, Jude said, I love you. Here's some chocolate.
Oh,
that's a good one, too.
Oh,
Oh, I wish my mom told me that more
I know.
often. Yeah, I love you. Here's some chocolate.
I know.
Okay, well, yours was quite funny. Yours is so sweet. Are you ready for mine?
yes.
Okay, this would be on mine. Now, don't judge me. Okay, don't judge me
Okay,
too hard.
okay.
But when my kids leave the house, I say to them, be good. And if you're not good, be good at it. There you go.
There you go.
There
Yeah,
you
don't
go.
get caught. You're
Yeah,
not
just-
good. Don't get caught.
And then
Yeah,
they
just-
laugh and they're like, oh, well, whatever. But you know what? Because it's our way of just laughing together.
Yeah.
So that would be
Yeah.
my.
I do say to my
most
boys,
used
like, don't do dumb stuff.
one. Yeah,
But then
please don't.
That's just like, you know what's happening.
You
know it
yeah,
is. So
yeah,
go up.
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I know. See, Debbie, you're so good. Debbie says, remember who you are and make good choices. And here Kris is saying, be good. And if you're not good, be good at it. Like, come on.
I like
That's really
it.
sweet,
I
Debbie.
like it.
But again, it's one of those things that I think one day my kids will just, I don't know. I hope they look back and just, again, laugh and just go, my
Those
mom
are the things that they'll remember.
is just weird.
Mhm.
But
No, but
yeah,
that's what
because
they'll
they
remember.
know that I don't really mean that, right? They just,
Yeah.
we just have a good relationship that we laugh about.
But you can
stuff
say
like
it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was a really good question posed. So something to make you think, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. So I love all the things that you guys are saying too. Remember what Thumper's mom said? Cheryl said, I'm trying to think.
I don't
What
know
did
either.
What
Thumper's
did
mom say?
Thumper's mom say? Can anyone think of?
Um,
Okay, Cheryl, you got to help us out here, for sure. Yeah, Peggy says, "Don't do nothing.
Thumper.
Don't do nothing stupid."
That's funny.
Anyway, too funny. Well, I love that. And speaking of moms,
Oh, if you-
Melissa, you just got the gift of all
You guys.
gifts. You've got to see this.
I got
Oh.
the
I love it.
greatest gift. I've been asking my husband for one for years, but we have a history of riding one, and he was like, "I'm not getting on one of those with you again." But he got me a tandem bike,
Yes.
and it's so fun. Look
my
at that.
gosh, look at
And
you. Look
that's
how
why
cute
he
you
doesn't
are.
want to ride with me because look, I'm like hanging off the edge and it's going to tip us over.
I can just see Melissa like,
That was what I do.
right?
Like, he's like, are you pedaling? I'm like, pedaling? What are you talking about? I'm on the back waving to everyone.
And you wonder why your
I
children
know.
would do the same thing.
It's true.
Are you in a dress?
I was in a dress. I know. Who wears a dress? Biking. I don't know.
Melissa. Melissa wears a
I
dress.
didn't even think about that till we got there.
Dorothy does.
And then,
we talked about Toto too.
yeah. So we get there and I'm like, this is not the best attire.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
But
It was
look
fine.
how
It was fun.
how free and
I know.
you're just going with the flow.
And my daughter got 2 flat tires on 2 different bikes
Yeah.
on one trail.
Oh,
So my son walked one back for her and she
Hey.
walked on herself back after
Well,
she
that was
took
really sweet.
I know.
Yeah.
And you notice it wasn't me that got up and helped her.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, take her back. I'll meet you at the back. when we're
Oh my
done."
gosh. A tandem bike. Can you imagine?
no, I can't.
I'm going to bring it in one day and we can all
Will you,
take turns.
will you do that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That would
It'll
be
be fun.
quite the sight to see, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. How fun. Well, we hope those things brought a smile to you today. I'm not going to get the image of Melissa riding her tandem bike going, woo, out of my head for the rest of the day. So thanks, Melissa. I appreciate
Well,
it.
yeah, that's
I love it. All right, friends. Well, we have a really wonderful 3 themes at 3 planned for you today because we are bringing on a very, very special guest who is just near and dear to my heart, and that is Cindy Cloward. Now, you can see here that Cindy is the mom of 4 children and 4 grandchildren now, which is hard to believe. I remember when she had her first. And as many of you may know, Cindy, she is also the owner and creative director of Riley Blake Designs, which is pretty much in our backyard. And that's why we're so lucky to be able to have you
We're
come
neighbors.
here.
We're
I
girlfriends,
know.
right?
Exactly. So, Cindy, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness.
Your studio looks incredible.
Oh, thanks. You know,
love it.
it's fun. It's taking a little bit of getting used to for all of us around here. But
Got the
it's
green
fantastic.
chairs.
Look at it.
So
Well,
cute.
we can't
Yeah.
have anything but green.
There you
right?
go. There you go.
Well, it is so fun to see you. So, how many of you out there know who Cindy is? Have you followed her tutorials? She's an amazing teacher. And again, she does so much of the behind the scenes work of Riley Blake Designs and all those, the beautiful fabrics that come out.
Mm.
Her and her husband make definitely the dynamic team for sure. But there's one quilt in particular that we are super fond of right now, and that is the I'm Coming Home quilt panel. Now,
Just
would you
that
mind?
name,
Right?
right?
Yes.
Just
Just
the
the
name
name.
is so beautiful, and there's a story behind it. And we shared this. We shared the panel last night on our live sale, but I can't wait to hear more about the story behind this, because I think with every quilt, and especially when you have an artist who designs something, there is most certainly a story behind it, right? And the same goes with
Yes.
this. All right, so let's first take a look at the
Want
quilt.
to take a quilt, and what makes it so spectacular is the artwork. This was painted, and then we get the files and get them prepared for fabric, and of course it's digitally printed because of all the colors in it. But it represents all the branches of the military. You've got the Air Force here, you've got the Marines down in the corner, you've got the Army here, and of course the Navy here. So it represents all different branches. And the artist is called Vicky Gifford, and she has family that served in World War II. And more recently, she had a son serve in Iraq. And we know how hard it is to see our loved ones, our military servicemen and women leave. And so this represents them coming home. Of course, we hope all of them come
Yes.
home, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And we just celebrated, well, I don't know if celebrate the right word.
Yeah.
We honored Memorial Day.
Exactly.
And it's a time to remember all the men and women who have, some have paid the ultimate sacrifice, and some have come home injured, or some, we're just we want all of them to come home. But this is one way to honor someone in your family if you want to make them a quilt out of this. And again, it
Absolutely.
represents all branches.
So tell us about these pictures that we're seeing up here on the screen.
Okay, so this particular picture that's up right now is Vicky's son that served in Iraq, and that's his wife there. I think you had previously on World War II vets and then some servicemen. So the military service runs long and deep in her family, and this is one way that she really honors them.
Well, she's an incredible artist.
She's an incredible artist. And should I tell you the story how we got connected?
Absolutely. Yes, I'd love to hear.
So this is the first time Riley Blake Designs has ever made a veterans collection. And I went on a cruise with my youngest son and one of my other children and my husband for his senior trip. And we met a lady on there, and her and her husband, and she found out I was a quilter. She found out that I owned Riley Blake. And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm such a fan. And our guild does Quilts of Valor quilts, like hundreds of them year after year. And they give them to these vets. And they've given them to a lot of World War II vets. And she goes, you know what? There's someone in our quilt guild that does amazing watercolor or illustrations that I think would be beautiful on fabric. And so she connected us. And I'm like, yes, would you paint something special for us and Riley Blake? And we made a full collection.
It's amazing. It is so beautiful. In fact, I don't know, can we get an up close of, let's pull this out again. Look at, when you talked about watercolor.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this, you guys. This is, you really see the depth of color. And it does look like it's been just painted on with a brush, right?
And that's what you get. This is digitally printed. That's what you get. You can take actual art and print it on fabric now. I mean, 15, 20 years ago, we didn't have this technology, but now we do have this technology.
It's
and
amazing.
so
That's
it
incredible.
makes it very special.
It is amazing. Oh my goodness. So we have this panel quilt on our website right now. And again, it's just, if you have just the panel and you add some borders, it's beautiful, right?
Yes.
But you also have another quilt that uses the panel, and it also uses the other fabrics in that collection. And we're going to show that during theme number 3. But before we do that, are you ready to go sew with me?
Yes.
Oh my
let's do
goodness.
it.
I'm so excited because Cindy has a beautiful star block. You know, we've been talking star blocks all this week. On Tuesday, we did the Lemoyne star. Yesterday, we talked about the Ohio star. And today, what are we calling this?
Star-crossed. Yes.
Star-crossed. Okay.
It's a block that Heather Peterson, a designer that works for us, designed. And it's become my new favorite star block. It's so fun.
Well, I made a sample of it to test it out. And of course, I had to do it in patriotic colors, right?
It's darling.
And I think it might just be one of my new favorite blocks as well.
It's so cute. It's good.
Let's head over to the sewing table, Cindy. And you two, I'll meet you back for theme number 3, shall we?
All right.
Shall we call it a date?
Ooh,
Call
I'm
it a
there.
date.
Okay, let's do it. All right, let's go. All right, Cindy, here we are at the sewing table. Shall we take a closer look at this one that
Yes.
we
Look
put
at this.
together here?
Look, you just whipped this up last night.
I did.
Because she asked me yesterday, oh, do you have a favorite block? And she goes, I'll make it.
I'll
And you
just
did it
whip it
last
up.
night.
It was easy. It
Look
was,
how
It was so
cute.
simple to do.
Isn't
So
that so cute?
I love it. And I took your star block and then I just added some borders to it. So it was really easy. And then I used clear blue tiles on it, of course, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But this is a really fun block to make. So tell us how this is done.
So here's some of the step outs that you've got prepared. Now, this is a star-crossed is a pattern on our RBD website. We recently just finished our RBD block challenge. We do one challenge a year with 16 different designers, and we feature their blocks in a sampler quilt. And so the pattern is on the Riley Blake Designs website. And it has all the pieces for you to cut out. And you've got a mark for me. So let's get started.
You know, I didn't have like little stickers or something to mark. And so here's a little tip. If you don't have those kind of things, just use like a friction pen and just draw it on, and then you can erase it after. So I labeled them A, B, C, D, and so forth.
So perfect.
Okay.
So we are going to make some flying geese squares. Now they're not your typical flying geese because there's a little bit of space on the end of these.
Okay.
But what you want to do is you have to make the exact same block for each of these. So you want to be very mindful of placement.
Okay. So I like to call these, you know how you said they're not your typical flying geese because they don't go all the way to the point. I like to call it like a floating flying geese block.
Okay.
It's
I
just
like that.
floating there. Yeah.
So
Which is really nice, especially if you're a beginner. You don't have to worry about perfect points on this.
it's true. This is
Which I love,
is true.
Okay.
So I'm going to
let's
have
come
you
up here
make
a little bit more.
I'm going to have you make these
Okay.
at a time, and you typically, if you don't have the feature you have on your machine, you're going to need to mark them corner to corner.
Yes.
So you're going to do right sides together, corner to corner, mark them. But you've got a cool feature on your machine.
I do.
So, let's make
see
sure
that.
this is going the right way. So check it because placement is important.
Mhm.
You want this to mirror that, and then check and double check, right?
Okay. Why
So-
not? Yeah. All right. So I'm headed over here to the Baby Lock Chorus, and I love this machine. One of the reasons is because of the guide beam. And I don't know how well you can see that here, but that guide beam allows me to not have to draw those lines on. And I'm just going to go from corner to corner. Now, one of the things, Cindy, I know that you like when doing a flip and fold method is you like being a little titch beyond that center
Yes.
line, right?
I like to go just a hair, a thread, just to the outside. So when you open up that flip, it will just make that perfect rectangle. So
You know what's cool is that on this machine, I can actually shift over my needle by a smidgen. And so
That's
if
perfect.
I'm still on the center line with my guide beam, but if I just move over that needle a smidgen,
and look
I'm
at that
absolutely good to
tabletop.
go.
I'm having
know.
tabletop envy right now.
are you? I know.
Look
it's
at
so
that.
fun. Okay, so
There.
we would be doing 4 of these, right?
Yes, but
Okay.
since we have these 2 done, you're going to make those 2. I'm going to trim it down.
Now let's take a look at what this looks like. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to just trim that up. And when you pull this back, you can see that it goes all the way to the back there, right? So I need to first have that one and pull it out. And then I add the second
So
one.
I can trim it down for you.
Yeah, let's go ahead and trim that down.
So you're going to trim that down to 1/4 inch.
Okay.
Get your rotary. Oh, this is a fancy rotary cutter. There we go.
Yeah, left or right.
There we go. We can finger press it open.
Yeah.
If we don't have a
If you don't have an iron right by, you
handle,
can
that's
definitely
finger
do that.
pressed.
Okay, so you can see here at the machine that if I have this one on, I'm going to just grab another square. Would you mind? Let's see, what square should we do?
We need this one.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that one. So you can see right here,
I'll
I'm
do
just
this
going to
one.
put this one right side down.
This is kind of fun to sew together.
I know, we
I'm usually
really should do it
sewing-
more often, right?
I'm usually sewing solo.
Well, you know what, Cindy? Sometimes I'm actually sewing with you, but you just don't know it because I'm watching your videos. And then I feel like I'm sewing with my friend.
There you go.
Okay, so, oh my goodness, what just happened to my thread? Well, I don't know what just happened, but the thread came out. That's really strange.
Of course, it's because it's
I don't know
live,
what just happened.
Facebook Live.
Um,
Where is your thread?
we
where is it?
just sewed this one. How did that happen?
I don't-
Okay, who's the gremlin that took Chris's thread?
I don't know. Do you need some more thread? There's no thread on there.
Oh my heck, that is.
Okay.
But
Let's
this
find
one I
you
just
some
sewed.
thread.
Okay, that's weird.
This is
All
not my
right,
sewing room, but
let's bring on some thread. I'm speechless. Okay,
You're
I'm
gonna go with
speechless.
thread.
I'm gonna go with thread. Wow. Wow. Okay.
This is a first. How
Oh.
did that sew?
How did that sew?
Because there's no thread here. There's no thread there.
Maybe there was
No.
thread from a earlier project. I don't know these things. All I know is I'm really I'm going to be thinking about this all night. Don't we have security cameras in here that can, give me the play-by-play of what just happened? Because I'm really, really lost. Okay. Who's going to fess up? Over there, Terrellee, was it you? Okay. All right. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, let's try this again, Cindy. All right, here we go. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, I have thread in the bobbin. That's so crazy. Okay, and here we go. We have a flying geese block officially with a 1/4 seam allowance right up there too. So that's
Looking
pretty
good.
awesome.
So I'll trim that
Okay.
down while you're sewing the second one.
Okay, and
So
we'll
we'll
just
hurry and
do
get
2
that.
for right now.
Yep. Well, we already have our other
And we
two
have our other ones
done.
done. Oh my goodness. Oh, gremlins.
Flip that. That is hilarious.
Okay, and we've got a second one right here. Okay,
I'm going to finger press
Press
that
out.
open.
all right. So go ahead and let you do that. Okay,
So we've got 2
we've
of
got
those.
4 flying geese blocks, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
That's going to make our star. And the next thing we need to do is create. Oh, I did that wrong because I'm not left-handed. This is too fancy for me.
You're right.
This is way too fancy for me.
That
Okay,
is
brand there.
brand new from Creative Grids.
It's
kinda
it's
liking it.
very fancy. So we've
Okay.
got 2 and 2. So we're going
Okay.
to put those 2 aside,
Okay.
and then we're going to make this center right here.
Okay.
So we're going to take these are our little center units right here.
Yeah.
And you're going to take your D and your C white squares. Now this is going to tell you to cut corner to corner 2 different ways. So you're going to cut corner to corner here and kind of flip here. If you had a rotating mat, that would be
that
really
would be very
easy.
helpful.
We
You're
make
right.
them.
Yes. Well, we love them. The Sue Daly pink one.
Yes, yes.
We
A
use it
rotating mat
all
would
the
be perfect.
time.
So we've got oops, just gonna cut that. Clip that. Maybe I won't. It's 1 thread, 1 teeny little thread. So that is taking way too long. So we've got those, and then your D squares, you're just gonna cut corner to corner, not double cut.
Just once. Yeah.
Okay.
And let's go ahead and
That.
lay out how this block comes together, because if we were to
I'm gonna
take,
put these to
yeah.
the side.
let's go
So-
ahead and,
This is gonna go in the
Yes.
middle.
mhm.
These are going to be flanked. And then we're going to take our little squares. So the large
Okay.
squares, again, sorry about this. That rotary cutter, just
There we go.
the D are going to be the outside and the C are going to go like this.
Yeah. So if you put it together like a puzzle, right? And this is, I'm just, we're using the Lori Holt design board here, which is very helpful.
So handy.
All you're doing is you just match up those corners and you sew it together, and it's like an X.
And I sew in a chain, so I would
Mhm.
flip all these over like this. And what's important is you're going to want to line up this right angle right there. So that's if you need to remind yourself, put a little pin in there. That's where you're gonna sew down. So you're gonna sew. If you start at the top here, because I'm going to sew this in a row, you'll kind of sew off the side. So it's 1 fabric, but then you'll sew down here, sew down there, open it up. Then I'd flip these over like this.
Okay.
And then I would sew, and I would pin it this time because I'm not going to cut my threads. I would sew down here, sew down here,
It's a much
sew
more
down
efficient
here.
way of doing it quickly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an easy way to sew. And then you're going to
Okay,
get it.
Let's go ahead
this.
and move that off. And through the magic of television, right? We get
We get
a
that.
beautiful new block.
And then we're going to get our A squares.
In fact, you know what I'm
Or
going to
D
do on this one?
squares.
I'm going to move this to the cutting table because the white on white's a little hard to see.
There you go.
Okay, so there we go.
And then you've got 4 angles. So you're going to do right sides together. Now, a lot of times I'll just eyeball that and center it and pin it. But if you're a little unsure.
I just eyeballed it. Nobody's got time for that.
If you want me to be official, you're going to, do a finger press here and a finger press here.
Oh, wow, Cindy. Okay.
And there you go. And then you're going to put your point on that finger press. And then it's going to line up beautifully there. I'd pin it there and pin it there. And then just work around, do
All
the
way
4.
around. Yeah.
So those 4 corners on, and you've got this.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, it really was so much fun to make.
Yeah, it's a really awesome block.
I loved making this block. And so this is how you do the center of this now sawtooth, right?
And you'd want to, it should measure 5 inches square.
Yes.
And
Should is the key word.
should. And that sometimes I will do a scant inch because sometimes it pulls in a little bit.
I found when I was making the sample, my first one I did was a perfect 1/4 inch and it worked okay. But I had a lot more leverage to if I went a scant 1/4 inch. That helped me tremendously.
I think it's better to do just a scant, which is hardly nothing, but it makes a difference.
Okay.
So then you're going to have your 5-inch square in here.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you mind if I?
No, that's great.
Because I use these design boards all the
Oh, yeah.
time.
No, that's great.
And you're going to put this here. And because they are a match, that's going to flip over here. That's why it's important. So they're opposite. You've got that here, that here. Now, at this point, it's pretty cool, but we're not quite done. You need to make these.
I liked this next step.
Yeah, it adds a little interest to it.
Does,
And this is the sew and flip method again. Again, it's not quite a half square triangle. And you can go ahead and get your squares. You've got your
But what I
your
thought was
A
interesting
squares.
on this one, Cindy, was that you, in your pattern, which everyone is going to receive today, we have a link for you for the free pattern, but you actually didn't have us do that beforehand. You had it afterwards.
Yes.
But does it matter?
It does not matter.
Okay. So you could put it on before or after.
The pattern calls for you to sew. You lay this down now and sew it all together, which I do the same method. I go sew down, flip it over, and then sew down the other way. A tip for newer sewers, whenever I'm doing flying geese, I always trying to have my flying geese on top so you can see that point and you're not going to cut off your points.
That way so can we get an up close on this one? What she's referring to right here is, do you see where these diagonals come together?
Right there.
Right here. And then you just stitch this down. And if you will go like right through that or just a titch over, then you'll make sure to have perfect points. You won't have anything cut off. I love that tip.
Because you've got perfect points right here. And that's what we want to see. We want to see the point just resting right on the edge.
Let's take a look at this again.
Looks great.
Okay, so yes, right here, you can see that.
So if you're taking a generous 1/4 inch, you're going to sew into this line and your point's going to be cut off. So that's why I always tell people to try and sew with your flying geese on the top, and you can see that.
And this is why I call this a floating flying geese, because do you see how those points don't go all the way to the corner?
Which is
It's
so
floating.
awesome
Do you
for
like
beginner
that?
sewers,
Yeah.
and you don't have to worry about getting that 1/4 inch right on the edge. You got a little wiggle room.
Exactly. So, and then if you're wanting to know how I put this together, again, I used just some scrap fabrics I had. These, of course, are Riley Flake that I absolutely love from my mind's eye.
Yes.
But I cut my inner border to be 1.5, so it would finish at 1. And the outer border to be 2.5, so it finishes at 2. And then I use clear blue tiles to finish it off, which I'll talk about over in segment number 3. But what a fun block. Thank you so much.
You could repeat it 3 times, make a
Yes,
table
you
runner.
could. Yes, you absolutely could. I mean, this block is so, there's just so many things you could do with it and have fun with it. And I love it. So thank you so much.
You're
And
welcome.
Thank you to Heather Peterson, who also
And
is
you
the
can
one who
see our
designed
quilt
it.
behind
Oh,
us
yes.
in the
Can we
bright
see that?
colors.
Yes, I love this.
That's the original
Instructor. So we absolutely love her. Thank you so much, my
You're
friend.
welcome. Glad to be
Oh
here.
my goodness.
And thanks for inviting me up to your
How was
studio.
the drive?
It was
okay?
beautiful. It was okay.
It was okay.
Beautiful. I
Yeah.
loved seeing all the outdoors.
And it's
You
so
still got
green right
snow in
now.
your mountains.
A little bit, at least as long as it stays on the mountains, we're good,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
All right, friends. Well, thank you again, Cindy. Isn't she wonderful? I just love, love, love her. Every time we get together, we have so much fun. And I hope you were able to learn something new today. And be sure to download, we have it in the comments, the link to be able to download your free star-crossed block pattern, courtesy of Riley Blake Designs for all of you. All right, let's head over. I'm going to join up with Terrellee and Melissa's in the house back, and we're going to talk about some exciting things to discover. Forgot to grab the okay, I forgot to grab the thingamajigger. You guys can grab that. Here we are. You know, it's all live. We are a one take wonder, right?
There are no retakes.
There are no retakes here, folks. No way. All right. So again, wasn't she great?
Oh my gosh,
yes.
This was really fun to see a face behind.
Behind the name.
Behind the name,
Yeah. And know
That was
that, you know, this is a company that they built, her and her husband, and, you know, and to see how much it's grown. Cindy, how long has Riley Blake been in business? 15 years. 15 years
Wow.
this year.
Yes. Congratulations.
Holy cow. So that's pretty amazing. So you have a lot of fans out there. A lot of people are loving what Riley Blake does. And you can count us three as
Absolutely.
at the very
Big
top.
fans.
Yeah, for sure. All right, friends. Well, you saw that Cindy and I just talked about this star-crossed block, but I want to talk you through just something to discover today as I talk about, you know, Cindy said, Kris, you did this last night. Now, you're right. It was crazy. I did it.
Your free time.
But you know what? It was so much fun to do. And I'll tell you what, I was able to quilt this on my embroidery machine. I don't own a long arm, and I definitely couldn't do this on my sewing machine, doing those perfect swirls, but I could do it on my embroidery machine. So I want to show you a quick little video, and I'm going to talk you through it about what I did in order to do this. Because for those of you who use clear blue tiles, you may not realize this, or if you've never used clear blue tiles, you got to check it out. Take a look at that, Melissa and Terrellee. It's quilting my quilt on the embroidery machine, and this was done in literally 15 minutes. Start to finish, 15 minutes to quilt that.
I've got them, and I've not even taken them out of the
Terrellee,
box.
you've got to get them out of the box. It is
I
so
know.
much fun and so easy to do. And so that's just one part of it. And then one of the things I hope that you can discover with using clear blue tiles is that you don't have to take your hoop out of the machine in order to do a second hooping. So let's take a look at that. No, you keep the hoop where it's at. You can see here. Now this is kind of a crazy video because I'm trying to film with my left hand and remove it with my right hand. You notice that the quilt hoop is still in the embroidery machine. I haven't moved that. All I have to do is remove the top. Then I use my little guide beam there to make sure I go over my next crosshair where I need to be. And all I did was I simply moved the quilt. I did not move the hoop. And now that it's centered over the guide beam, take a look at what happens. I can actually then take my top hoop and just plop it right back in. It doesn't even isn't that simple?
That is? Oh my gosh.
A lot of people get nervous about doing those multi-hoopings. How many of you watching right now, have you tried this method of doing the multi-hooping clear blue tiles? Because it really is a great way to go. Now, that's the second hooping or the third hooping, whatever it might be. I'm keeping that hoop in the bottom. Now, let's move on to one more quick video, and that is I'm now ready to finish this off. And so you see that I've now placed that top hoop inside the hoop, and now I go and I just start quilting again. And the amazing thing is that you do not see the difference between where you stopped and where you started. It is amazing, amazing stuff. So Jamie says she likes doing it with her magnetic hoop. I totally agree, Jamie. I love my magnetic hoop as well, but I didn't have a magnetic hoop for my 8x8 size, which is what I wanted to do this with. And so being able to use this method is just another alternative to being able to do the clear blue tiles using that method. So it's pretty cool. Judy says she uses CBTs all the way this time and loves it. So thank you, Judy, for that comment. And Bobby said she loves doing clear blue tiles with multi-hooping, especially with the magnetic hoop. So easy. So, these are just some things to think about. If you're going to do quilting on your embroidery machine, you got to consider clear blue tiles. It really is an amazing way to go. And I'll tell you what, have you seen their new large hoop designs?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes,
The game
I
changer
did.
right there,
Mhm.
because literally I was able to do this in 15 minutes because the designs are much larger scale.
Yes.
I really like them. In fact, we have the brand new expansion pack on sale right now for $10 off. So normally it's $39.99. You can get the new expansion set number 2 for those of you with the larger hoops for just $29.99. So check it out at mygirlfriendsquiltshop.com. Okay, that's my discover. What do you have, my friend? No, Melissa, you're next.
You
You're
guys,
up.
it's the event you have all been waiting for. So if you are close, and even if you're not, you still have time. So you have time to get here.
That's
It is
right,
our
right.
birthday celebration this
Yeah.
week on Saturday, June 1st, from 10 a.m. to 4 at the store
Here.
And it's going
Yep.
to be the party of the century.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Yes.
Right? There's going to
We've
be
got-
food trucks
yeah.
and giveaways with
Yes.
each purchase.
Yeah.
There's a free gift with the purchase. Right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
Yeah.
25% off fabric.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
All fabric.
All fabric.
New, old, doesn't matter,
That's
right?
a good one, you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So-
pretty cool.
Book your flights.
Yeah.
Get here.
Right. Why not?
It's a nice drive. You have time. It's
Exactly.
Thursday.
That's what I'm saying.
So it goes from 10 to
Yes.
4 on Saturday. Okay. Thanks, Melissa. And what do you have, my friend?
The Kimberbell.
Yes.
Upcoming Kimberbell events.
Yes. We've got Spoonful of Sunshine and Day at the Spa.
Oh,
What do you think about those,
Sandra.
Terrellee?
well, I've seen Sandra running around and
Uh-huh.
I think it's really cute.
Now, did you see the cute rope bowls?
Yes,
Oh my goodness.
They
the rope
intimidate
bowls
me,
are
though.
amazing. Do they?
they do.
Okay, well, you've got to take a Kimberbell event then.
I know.
You won't be intimidated by it. You love machine
I
embroidery.
do. I do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I've got to do the
Clear blue tiles.
clear blue
Tiles,
tiles. I do. I do.
Yeah, so it's not too late to be able to be a part of a virtual Kimberbell event. We've got those coming up. You do not want to miss. Check them out on our website. All right, friends. I think that is all for us. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I think so.
This was fun.
Yes.
Thanks for having us.
Oh my
come.
gosh, it was so fun. We love having you, all of you, meet all of the girlfriends behind the scenes. And guess what? Next, let's see, is it next week or in 2 weeks? I think it's next week that we talk about the boys here. I can't remember off the top
Oh.
of my head. In 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Where
Yes.
it's all going to be, let's hear it for the boys. And we've got some of the very brave men around here to join us on 3 Themes at 3. So I see some people are asking about the pattern for today. If somebody in customer care can put the link for that, that would be awesome. But you can also find it on Riley Blake Designs website. Is it RileyBlakeDesigns.com? Yep, RileyBlakeDesigns.com. Look under free patterns, you'll find it there. And And then we'll put some links in the notes as well. So, all right. It's great to be with all of you on this Thursday. Have a wonderful weekend. Do you guys have some
Yeah.
fun plans?
I'm quilting.
Oh, that sounds heavenly to me, doesn't it? Melissa, what
I'm
about
probably going to be
you?
in my garden.
Or on your bike?
On her
Or
bike.
on my bike. Yeah. I'll be coming to the event on my bike.
Oh.
I could give rides.
Oh.
3 rides on
You guys will
Saturday,
come.
folks, with her. Okay, that would be a blast.
That would.
That would be fun.
It'd be worth coming to
Oh.
see that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sign me up.
Uh-huh.
All right, everyone.
I get the back seat.
Oh
I'm
boy.
pretty tired by the day I was over.
Have a great weekend. Hope to see
Bye.
you
See you
again
guys
soon.
later.
See you next week. Bye-bye.